Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Crusader Kings III, where today I think we're faced with our first actually complicated problem of the campaign. Taking over Ireland was actually pretty straightforward and quite easy. We had problems, but the problems we had were all sort of getting to grips with the shape of the systems and figuring out where the buttons are in the UI type problems. I don't think that it's actually we basically just A-moved across the whole island, right? We didn't even really have to learn how to engage with the combat systems, because we always had a massively superior force. So, in terms of taking over Scotland and or England, probably Scotland first, we kind of have our eyes in this direction, right? We're going to have to engage with a lot more systems, a lot more in-depth. So I'm excited about this challenge. So let's talk about the tools that we have. First of all, I've spent some time trying to learn about how the military systems work, and eyeing the situation here, sort of sizing things up, and I am decreasingly certain that we want to go to war here. Their military strength is showing 3,000-ish troops in this little window, but the number there says 3983, and we certainly can't mount a force anywhere near 3983, right? We would probably need to get a good alliance going or something, or massively improve our combat infrastructure before that could happen. So I sort of think we'd be walking into a battle that we're just going to lose. I mean, this number here does not include the mercenary company, but even with the mercenary company, we are understaffed, and I don't think our troops are particularly good at combat. I think we're just sort of an average basic military. So I don't know that we actually want to do this. Duke Fingwin's got a reasonable claim. He's only 18. There is time. So I think we're going to wave off of the military thing for right now. But we do need to start making diplomatic and intrigue-based moves in the direction of being able to claim Scotland. If we were to fight this war, it wouldn't make us King of Scotland. It would make Fingwin King of Scotland. But I actually, if we had the military to put this up, if I thought we had the military to put this up, I'd actually be 100% down to do that, in large part because I don't know what'll happen. And whenever you're engaging with a complicated system and you run into a situation where you go, I wonder, you should just do it. You should just do it and find out. The best way to learn is definitely to get elbow deep in something and just have it happen to you. Not necessarily a great strategy in real life, where consequences can be very serious, but definitely the best strategy in a video game where you could just, start again or go back to a save if things go terribly awry. So yeah, if we installed him on the throne of Scotland, I presume that there would be a huge opinion modifier related to that. This guy made me king has to be a big boost. And so we could be very friendly, and maybe we could, work toward uniting our houses. He does not have any children right now. He is 18, betrothed to a 12-year-old princess of England, which is interesting. Our daughter doesn't have any kids yet either, right? Our heir? Yeah, 25 years old and no children, so maybe a long-term strategy here is try to unite our two houses by marrying Durbale's kid to Fingwin's kid, presuming that genders work out for that. That might work. And if he's married to a princess of England, that's potentially actually really interesting, right? Because a child of Fingwin and Durbale's child, a child of Fingwin's child and Durbale's child, would then be our player heir with a claim to the throne of Scotland and a claim to the throne of England. I think that's a pretty long-term solution, but it's not impossible. But we could maybe even tighten up that timeline a little bit, right? If we did some schemy stuff, and we say had an unfortunate accident befall Princess Alice, we take this this claim to the throne of England out of the question, obviously. But what if we could marry Finguin to Durbale directly. Durbale also has a spouse who would have to, go away. But that could happen. That's a thing that could occur. Your spouse is 47 years old. He's an analytic villain. With a not very high intrigue score, to be fair. I was kind of hoping that they would have some intelligent children. But they're not... Boy, they sure aren't getting on that very quickly, are they? So... Yeah, if something happened to Durbale's spouse and also to Finguin's spouse, and then Durbale and Finguin married, I guess it would have to be a matrilineal marriage for the kid to be in my house. And if the kid's not in our house, then he's not our player heir, right? Is that how that works? So let's see. The player heir is usually the same as the primary heir, but if the succession law of your primary title dictates that it should go to a character outside of your dynasty, you will instead keep playing as the dynastic heir to your second highest tier title. How is dynasty? Group of noble descendants of a landed ancestor. The original house can be split into new ones, and all those will still be members of the same wider dynasty. But that's talking about houses that are completely contained within the dynastic group, which would not be the case because dude has his own house, right? He is a member of a house already. So, is this... Yeah, this is his house. So the kids would be members of House Lauren and thus not part of our dynasty and thus not available to be my heir, my player heir. So yeah, it would have to be a matrilineal marriage, which I don't know that he would accept unless we made him like us even more, which we potentially could do. He is both terrified of me and has a positive opinion at the moment. We have 9 points of decaying reputation here from his opinion of our predecessor. But also, we have 13 points of short range penalty, which will wear off over time. My personal diplomacy is bad, and it is not helping us. Him being content is nice, though. So... yeah, maybe working our bloodline together with Finguin's is a thing to do in the long term, and in the short term, we just keep looking for places where we can gain little bits of land in either Scotland or England. Because I do not think we're in a position to do this. And we keep watching. Scotland keeps having problems, right? They lost a war with England not that long ago. There's something going on with Norway up here, and maybe we can just wait for a moment of weakness and then spring upon them, which I will absolutely do if that looks available to us. So I guess the question is, do we start scheming? We probably should, right? We have not really engaged with this system at all. So let's... I'm really uncertain whether I think it makes sense to try to keep her around for her valuable title. He is married well here, I think. Basically, the only reason that I would not try to unite his child potentially with Durbale's child is my natural impatience, because that's a real long-term plan. And I mean, a lot of wild shit can happen in the amount of time it takes for a great-grandchild to come into play, right? Like, a lot of big stuff could occur. So, trying to assassinate a prominent vassal's... I was about to say, maybe we try to have this kid killed for the sake of stability of the realm, predictability at the very least. But that seems like a wild thing to say, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm gonna concoct a murder scheme against a critical member of my court who might be the King of Scotland someday. You know, for stability's sake. Okay, we have claims elsewhere, right? We definitely have a claim on Brynike or something. My wife does, doesn't she? She actually has, like, a bunch of claims. What on earth did I do here? Okay, hold on a second. Tell me the difference between a pressed claim and a... Okay, so... A pressed claim is one you can pursue right away, and an unpressed claim is one you have to be... So right now we can only go to war about this. That is a pressed claim, but it's not the only pressed claim she has. So why are these pressed claims not pushable? Is it still a matter of the strength or weakness of the current ruler's claim to the title? Hold on, let's have a look at this one. Okay, so you're 8 years old. That's definitely factoring in, for sure. We're just going to look real quickly at each of the other pressed claims. Actually, each of the other pressed claims looks like it's going to be the same guy, right? No, but these are all adult, like, rightful rulers, I guess. We are slightly positive with him. I feel like we should have a little bit more. I guess I don't know what his actual relation was to the... Okay, the Duchess was one of his grandparents. I'm a little bummed out that he didn't inherit any of her love for us. It's unfortunate. Anyway, we definitely cannot press this claim. The Army of England would annihilate us. That's not even close. So maybe we need to start trying to, like, form a little, maybe we could try to take over Wales? Wales is a smaller kingdom that we could, like, as our plan for Scotland is happening, we could, like, form little... Because it's like a pretty... It's only 2 duchies in here, right? 3. They're split up in kind of a funny way right now, but 3 de jure duchies, I guess. We could maybe make that happen. How strong are these? Oh, yeah, these are tiny armies. These are adorable tiny little baby armies. So let's see here. Right now, you're allied to the other half of Wales, and also to a smaller person inside of this realm, and also here's the Kingdom of Gwent. They play a lot of card games there, I hear. What is this? You're irritable? Oh, it's like a nest. I get it. That's a wild looking icon. A forter, an organizer, a skilled tactician. You know, all this stuff really isn't going to add up to very much with your army being as tiny as it is. Okay, but fabricating claims is a job for the bishop, isn't it? Yeah, and he's kind of doing something right now, and it's something that's going to take fucking ever. Jesus Christ. God, I need a better bishop. How do you get rid of a bishop again? Catholicism does not have revocable clerical appointments. I am not the person who is in charge of Catholicism. That's not how that works. So we'd probably have to, like, do a whole heresy thing, right? Like, I would have to change the religion of my empire to a religion that allows the revoking of clerical appointments, which is a little bit beyond the scope of what we're doing right now, I think. Also, there's definitely a religion lens. Yeah, if we were suddenly not Catholic, I worry about what that might mean for our ability to make alliances or maybe even not get warred on by our neighbors. So let's not worry about that right now. We're not going to engage with the religious systems very much at the moment. That's a thing we will learn eventually. For the moment, I guess, let's is our control being affected much by the fact that heresy? It doesn't seem like it. Although Adamitism and Catholicism are hostile to each other, which is definitely going to be a problem forever. Yeah, I kind of need I kind of need claims, my dude. Let's figure this out. We could request a claim from the Pope. How much piety does this cost? Quite a bit. And also, he's not into it. Because you have to overcome 50 points of base reluctance. So he likes us okay, and he actually doesn't like Prince Adelfred. And Adelfred's a child, which makes this easier. But it would take such a long time for us to build up the amount of... Even if this number were positive, it would take such a long time for us to build up 330, especially since we're currently at 0, that we would lose that positive child modifier, and this will be even harder to overcome, and yeah, whatever. Whatever. Apparently that's not a path that's available to us. Alright, I'm gonna pull my... what's his name? My Archbishop off of what he's doing currently. It doesn't take that long to fabricate a claim, usually, and then he can just get back on with the other thing. Ew, 4 years, huh? Alright, well. It's a complicated task. There's no two ways about that. You know what we could do, potentially? What if we went and we just got a different claimant and, you know, pressed a claim from somebody else? We just, who are you? You're somebody in... that's that house right there. You're just a member of the house, and you're already married. This is a thing that I'm not good at yet, too, is figuring out how to find a person who will have a claim on a particular title. So, like, there are 9 claimants for this title. If we got one of them... How old are you? 5. If we got a claimant for this title into our structure, then we could... And we have like 11 years to do that, right? I think it's 16 where they become considered an adult enough to no longer be a weak holder of their office. So we have 11 years to figure out how to get a claimant for this title, and then we could, if we're working toward that in a way that's reasonable, we could bounce our bishop back to his other job. However, most of the people who have claims... Your sister-in-law? Wait, what? My wife is... Sorry. We got it. I didn't realize how connected my wife was. Okay, so yeah, we got... Like, we sort of got family... We got in-laws everywhere. Brian's wife is actually a huge asset. I did not realize the degree to which that was true. She's 26, I'm 47. Okay, so we had some time to play with some of these. So that's... Yeah, you're totally Welsh. Okay. So. Gosh, you got lots of claims. But again, we don't want to press anywhere in England proper because we're going to have to deal with the English army when doing so. We want... I mean, you do have a claim here. Buddy, let's talk. Can't invite you to my court because you're already in a court, I assume? Actually, it looks like that's not even part of this. Base reluctance pretty high. He likes his current duke. He's a knight of his current duke. That's a problem. And he's related. Yeah, that's... Okay, those are all big factors. I can see why that's negative 160. You... Technically, you have a claim as well, and you're not anyone's knight. What about you? You're only negative 305. That's not a big deal. Yeah, so she's in a patrilineal marriage. She absorbs some of his factors. She would be leaving her child. That's a serious... Yeah. her child, the Duke of Mercia. Boy, the web of relations. Did you know that the web of relations for the English crown is, like, fairly complicated? I'd never heard of such a thing. I'm just going to go ahead and fabricate this claim, because I don't have any idea how we might draw a person who has the particular claim we're looking for off in this situation. It seems like... sorry, that's not what I want. I don't want your house. I wanted to look at the title, which is this one. Yeah, so you're already a duke somewhere. You have an unpressed claim, which is like a long-term problem. Is Gwent... So right now, Gwent is a thing unto itself, right? This is probably the place we should start. It's tiny. Do you have a lot of alliances? You're allied with Upper Silesia? Which is what? That sounds... I'm not gonna... Look, I don't want to offend anybody, but that sounds made up. I don't want to offend any of the Upper Silesians in the audience. Okay, that seems like a not my problem kind of problem. I don't know whose issue that is, but it ain't mine. This is where I actually want you to fabricate it. This is the easiest easiest land foothold. Will it take less time? Nope, it'd take 4 years. I mean, we probably want to grab a larger amount of land if it's not actually going to be faster. I was kind of hoping that, like, it would be a lesser complexity of task. But fine, just go ahead and fabricate. We need to spend some time internal anyway. So, I guess I've unpaused here, but hold on, let's repause, because, you know, I hate it when things move forward in the video game. We probably need to, like, spend some time using our money to upgrade our stuff then, right? Like, we need... First of all, we could upgrade the development of some of our areas, which is a good long-term play, and maybe we're in this for a little bit longer of a term than I had intended. So if we were to do that, we want it to be sort of central, right? Because development, like, spiders outward. It's also a good idea for us to just build things that increase levies, I suppose. But what we really want is taxes and development. The building that increased development that we built, we definitely built a development building here. It doesn't seem to be available everywhere. Was it the port? Yes. So, okay. I mean, listen, if you increase development in a bunch of areas around the edge of your territory, it will spider inward over time, right? So what about, like... What if we build stuff in Duke Fingwin's territory? Apparently here we have access to some very large and expensive buildings. We could build some jousting grounds. That doesn't necessarily seem like the thing to do. We have access to a lot more buildings here, it feels like. Oh, well, this is a castle holding. Right, which holding it is matters a lot. Yo! All holdings in this duchy? Wow, hold on a second. What's in my castle holding? Have we... Okay, my castle holding's quite developed. We did, in fact, build a lot of stuff here. So... It's a castle 1. In order to upgrade it to a level 2 castle, a keep, we'd need to get the Battlements Innovation. Our culture is very bad at innovation, right? Like, what is... We've been working on communal government for approximately the entirety of our gameplay, and the bar's moved like 30%. If we were to switch to battlements right now, it would take 331 human years. So there's a 5% chance to gain progress each month based on the development of Irish counties. So development is important for this stuff too. This one will probably be discovered, at least, it might even be within Brian's lifetime. Fun. That's the value of the cultural fascination, right? So yeah, we really need to focus hard on development wherever we can. Building stuff in this castle is too expensive, but like this is what we'd want to do. So we can't just wait until we accumulate money. I'm assuming that the costs of stuff would be approximately the same everywhere. In fact, it's a little higher here. And it doesn't actually give us an indication as to why. I'm assuming this is probably also like a development thing. So it's 300 here, in a place where the development value is 9. Well, no, it increases the levies and taxes, but it does not decrease the cost of buildings, or at least it doesn't say so here. But yeah, our whole deal is like extremely underdeveloped. So the development here is 8. Here, development is 14, in fact. Ah, here's a problem. Poor management of resources makes large-scale construction difficult. Okay. So we'd love to have our steward out here increasing development in counties. That seems like a really important thing for him to be doing. Although he is going to reduce, not having him uncollect taxes is going to hurt our immediate income. Let's have him, where's the development here? It's poor. You know what? Increase development here. And you're fabricating a claim slowly. Okay, so we don't really have the money to make any of the types of improvements we'd like to make. I think we are actually just going to sit and let time pass for a bit here. Oh, my sway target passed away. The Duke of Ulster is dead. Is his child now the Duke of Ulster? Yes, okay. The covetous villain Duke Nellen, maybe. Good old Duke Nollins. So his intrigue stat is bad. That's good. I mean, he's 11. I guess we don't really know what his deal is yet. Not a big fan of me. Well, too bad. Also not terrified of me. I suppose he is a powerful vassal who does not yet have any expectations. So we can change up our sway now, I guess. We may as well, right? I should have a sway scheme running all the time, probably. Who would I like to sway? Who do I have feelings about the opinion of? To be perfectly honest with you, I don't know. I mean, Fingwin, maybe? I'm gonna sway Fingwin. I think, in the long term, him having a high opinion of us is, like, really valuable. If we're gonna try to, like, talk him into a matrilineal, talk him into us, like, suborning his house to our house eventually. And if we're trying to do that, we definitely don't want to make him King of Scotland first. But again, there's so much value in trying to make him King of Scotland just for the purpose of figuring out what will happen. Oh, one of my council positions is missing. Oh, that guy was my steward. Well. So my brother's mad because he's not on the council. And honestly, he's good at the job. He's got good stewardship. We went out of our way to make that true, didn't we? Yeah, I'm fine with that. Go ahead. Welcome aboard. You'll do an okay job here. You can negotiate an alliance with Princess Durbale. My daughter? Is what we're talking about here? I mean, okay. I don't disagree. Oh! Because she has become the Countess of Nevers, I guess. The person who was in charge of this died. Yes, negotiate alliance, please. So now we can call upon our daughter's military assets. I kind of forgot that this was even on the table here. So what's her... Okay, hold on. Her situation matters a lot because she's our player heir. We got to make sure that she's not going to get, like, murdered. Can we zoom over to Nevers real quick here? So there are 2 other people with claims. Are they like me? Is there a way for us to see how they feel about Durbale? Maybe not really. She's a torturer. She's had the lover's pox. That feels like it's not any of my business. She's deceitful. She has 11 intrigue. She has actually like really good overall stats. Though better than most people we're seeing around here. And who is she? She's in Burgundy? Which is... Hold on a second. So Burgundy is where Nevers is. Okay. Her liege is... She's the Countess of Auxerre. Okay, yeah. Right, she has a claim because we saw the granddaughters of that guy. Right. So she might make a problem of it. And if she does... I'm not really in a position to help with that. I think our daughter's in some considerable danger now, and I don't really have a way of helping her. And that's bad news for a bunch of reasons. Is she... Yes, she went to Nevers. She is now located in Nevers. This makes me exceedingly nervous. But I really don't feel like we are in position to do anything about it. Okay, good luck, Durbale. She's smart, right? Her spouse is smart. Maybe he'll keep her safe. Gosh, I hope so. You could declare war on England or Scotland if you felt like it. You know? It's up to you. How's his total military strength? It's gone up, actually. His military plus his allies. Yeah, no thanks. We're gonna continue working toward this in a different way. Hey, look at that. My dear father, I am honored by your request. Thanks. When our control passes to her, it's going to be a weird situation. Yeah, I know. I really wanted to use them again. I feel like we did not necessarily get great value. But what are we going to do? Accused of claim fabrication. How dare you? My chaplain is so fucking bad at his job. So does negative piety do anything? Is this going to be a problem? Whatever. So I'm noticing stuff's happening over here. I need better vision. Is there a way that we can like post scouts or something? I feel like I never know what's going on in areas where it's like really important to know what's going on. This is probably a thing that people who are used to the game get better at, just having an idea of what's happening, but I feel like I'm living in the dark here. Alright, yep, the soldiers have been dismissed. It's fine. Okay, so that number up there did include them. A shameful truth has reached the light of day. My vassal Duke Fingwin has copulated with his lover Christina. Oh. So he gains the trait Fornicator. So that means everybody... The fact that he has the trait means that it is publicly known. This is not a thing that my spy master figured out. That's a shame. Because if we had figured it out first, if I had sent my spy master to uncover secrets, then we could have used that against him, right? That would have been a hook that we had available. Why is that the image of... Oh, is it supposed to be... It's like pants where the crotch is on fire? Huh. Well, Figwin, I gotta tell you, man. This is not a great look for me. Your level of devotion is sinner, and you're gonna drag my ass down there too. So who? Just some lady. Okay. Just some lady who he's impregnated. Ah, that I assume is why that came to light. Well, he's about to have a kid, I suppose. That's maybe a thing we can work with. When his kid is born, but it's a... Will we get opinion from him, positive opinion from him, if we're nice to his bastard? Like, he might still like the kid, right? Maybe. I'm sparring with one of my soldiers, sweat beating on my forehead when I experience the uncanny sensation of being watched. Looking over my shoulder, I spot my cousin Sanitig. My cousin, Marshal and Knight, who is, like, somewhat positive on me. I walk over to greet him. We talk about our weapon practice for a while, trading tricks and advice, and just as I'm about to leave, his face lights up and he suggests we practice together. Well, okay, it's unlikely that I would win this practice duel, on account of I'm not really much of a fighter myself. It's not how I do. If I say I would rather not, we'll lose a little bit of prestige, like a very little bit, an amount that I don't care about. And he'll lose 10 opinion of me, which will bring him lower but still positive. If I lose the duel, it doesn't seem like there's really any cost. Yeah, challenge accepted. I'm not afraid to get my butt kicked. The sounds of sword clashing against sword echoes between the courtyard walls. All eyes are on us. Everyone wants to see their High King fighting his cousin. Yep. It's a well-known, ubiquitous desire. I must be tired from my previous practice, or also just very bad at this, because I move sluggishly, unable to keep up with my opponent. When I lunge, he is already gone, and my parries come at the very last moment. It is not long before I find myself on the ground before him, and then I yield, right? Like, that doesn't seem like a big deal. Only cowards surrender is like a very stupid... I'm a bad fighter, and this is not necessarily like even in character. Brian knows what his strengths are. Yeah, I don't have any problem being seen to lose a fight. Nobody in the kingdom is like, he's my king because he's the best murderer. That was Dad's thing. We got a different situation over here. So I'm watching for the child to be born, for further opportunities to engage here. So, movement speed, screen is the thing that helps people not die, right? Yeah, reduces the amount of casualties they take in the aftermath. But like, maybe we should get better at siege? I like siege. Siege is how wars are won, after all. Well, offensive wars. The only type of war I'm interested in fighting. And we're working on money. The claim is still being fabricated. We were correctly accused of fabrication, but it's still happening. For all the authority I supposedly wield as High King, I cannot be everywhere in my realm at once. There will always be those who forget to obey my orders once my attention is turned elsewhere. This is where my courtier Gerald would come in, who has been faithfully enforcing my decrees in court. Could he serve as my right-hand man and take a more active role in administering my realm? Who is he? Also, who are you? My cousin. My cousin does like me. Who are you? An irrational follower who is quite good at learning and... okay. Not very diplomatic, which is maybe an important thing for this role. He is inappetitic. Stress has ruined his appetite. Huh. That's weird. You would think that a trait that you gained because of being stressed would not come with greater stress loss. I guess as a coping device, it's working. He's also a drunkard. So... and a mastermind philosopher. Interesting. So, if he serves me well, I will gain the has right hand trait, which... okay, that seems useful. I will spend more time together with Gerald. What an odd note. I could have my cousin do it. This doesn't feel like me. Here's the thing about Brian. He knows his limits. He knows what he's bad at. I could use a right hand. He'll serve me well. Welcome aboard, Gerald. A guy who I have definitely known this entire time, who is definitely not new to me. Because we're not going to get a notification when the birth happens, right? Because this is not a thing that's directly relevant to me, so it's just something we have to keep an eye on. Hey, the faithful are preparing for war. A papal envoy has reached my court, bringing news from the Vatican. Pope Alexander issued a call to arms to all righteous Christian rulers. As a Catholic High King, I am expected to prepare my men in support of this most holy cause, sponsored by the Universal Church itself. So, if we pledge to join this crusade, we'll gain piety. Man, I don't want to send men to Jerusalem. I'm very busy over here. We could help finance the holy cause. Just give them some money. That would not fix my negative piety problem. Perhaps I should consider joining, so I don't necessarily have to pledge. This is an opportunity to exchange some resources for some piety. But perhaps I should consider joining. I guess we'll see. This is not where we're starting. So the crusade launches in 15 months. Click to view this great holy war. Okay. So if you pledge yourself as an attacker, you choose a beneficiary that may gain a title in the kingdom. Upon victory, the beneficiary will receive lands in the targeted realm proportional to the war contribution of their patron. The largest contributor can force their beneficiary to receive the main title being fought over. You may gain a share of the war chest. You gain some gold from the war chest when the crusade starts. Wars against other participants will end. I am expected to pledge military support or donate gold. They're going to make us do one or the other. So the Pope is attacking Caliph al-Mustansir. Where is this? Wait, isn't that supposed to jump me to the... Oh, no, because this is a house, sorry. This is a house, not a title. What's your main title right now? There we go. This is what I needed. Okay, so the northeastern shore of Africa. How would I even contribute? You know where Ireland is, Mr. Pope? Mr. Pope Alexander II? So, do I basically have the same options that I just had? Yeah, okay, I can click on these to do the things whenever. But we got 15 months before they're going to come knocking and asking where my contribution is. If I donate seriously, the Pope will gain a little bit of opinion of us, which could be useful in a variety of ways, right? Do I want territory in Northern Africa? Like, even if that's provided the crusade succeeds, we may gain a title in the kingdom. If I hit pledge here, what are my options? Okay, there's just the one option that was on the previous. I need to think about this a bit more. This is a not right now consideration for me. So we need to build some stuff. Development's going. House control increasing over here. Okay, that number's good. That number's getting better. Hopefully we'll be able to pull our marshal back for other stuff soon. And things are continuing apace. Still no, I'm a little concerned about Durbale not producing children. I hate to be like this, but I'm a little concerned about Durbale not producing children. We do need to have an heir for, like, not losing the game type reasons. Oh my god, this is taking forever. How are things going over here? They seem to not be changing very much. Count Wigerick, the spouse of my daughter and heir Durbale, has passed away. All those carefully crafted plans have been crushed by death's fickle impulse, though such complaints might seem petty and insubstantial compared to his family's pain. Okay, that's a problem. Or an opportunity. That's either a problem or an opportunity. I mean, should we, now, try to get Duke Figwin's spouse killed? Because, like, at the moment I wonder if Figwin, there's no way to, like, take his temperature on the idea of, like, whether he would marry my daughter if he theoretically did not have a spouse, right? Ah, he's had a child. Okay. Is this the child? This is the bastard. So, how does this work? You're unlanded and you have no claim to anything. You do not get any of his claims. I mean, I wonder if there's a diplomatic way to maybe drive them apart. I have no idea what kinds of shenanigans we can get up to here. I have to imagine she's not, like, jazzed about the situation, right? Now, granted, She's like a 14-year-old girl, so probably people are not giving her opinion a lot of weight here. King Robert also might not be... Oh, okay, so we can see... When we have a character selected, we get to see their opinion of their liege, but not their opinion of anyone else. So when we mouse over Finguin, it's still his opinion of me rather than her opinion of him. Yeah. I don't know how to take advantage of this situation, but it feels like this is a situation that there ought to be some way to take advantage of. The fornication and everything. Because he is a fornicator, he has a higher opinion of other fornicators. Doesn't it seem like in some ways this should allow you to sort of ferret out who in your court is a fornicator? Just like watch who likes Duke Finguin too much? Ah, wait a minute. Their opinion of him is higher than the numbers would indicate. So I guess for the moment there's nothing we can do. The kid is not necessarily a part of our plan at all. Gosh, I wonder if he would marry our daughter. If we were to try to have her murdered. I'm not saying we should definitely try to have her murdered, but we expect it would take about 8 years to perform the scheme, and also there's a 20% chance it would be successful. Really? Trusting. Who's trusting? Am I trusting? No, she's trusting. It's a red number, but it's a plus. Never mind. It's good. It's a red number because relative to her point of view, it's a bad thing. And yeah, okay. That's weird. That's a weird way to show that. It should definitely be green. I am arrogant, and that makes me bad at scheme secrecy. That makes sense. It doesn't, we've been role-playing him as the exact opposite of that, so I guess I'll fix my role-playing a little bit. So this is, the 20% is the chance, every month there's a predicted chance of 10% to progress based on scheme power versus scheme resistance. And at the end of the completion time is when this 20% happens, is that right? Or is this 20% part of the math that leads to this idea of there being a 10% chance to progress? This is a thing that the scheme system is still a little unclear to me. Some schemes also depend on other characters who might join as agents. I don't know if that's necessary. It says predicted agents 0. So a scheme has a chance of progressing each month. Once it reaches the end, the scheme may execute automatically, although in the case of a murder scheme, we'll have a button. We'll be able to back off if we want. Yeah, the success chance is just too low, though. We're not going to be able to make this happen. How do you... As long as the scheme is kept secret, you are not exposed for the crime of murder, and the chance of secrecy is bad, on account of the success chance being so low. So how would we make our success chance better? I mean, obviously, my personal intrigue is quite poor, but why... I guess I'm not 100% clear on why my personal intrigue... Like, shouldn't my spymaster be involved in this? Is that not how this works? Ah, okay. If she's assigned to support schemes, she gives us better... Okay, that's why. She has to be told that we're going to do a thing. So now, if I press this button now that she's been switched over, okay, we have different numbers. It's still bad, though. It'll take a lot fewer years to try it. Is 15 considered? Yes, 15 is considered good. It's a little awkward. She's very honest and just, which is which is not helping. But there's nobody in my fucking kingdom who's good at intrigue. Hold on a second. Let me see if that's true. At the time that we hired her, she was like hugely the best in our court, right? Sort by intrigue. Okay. That's learning. Sorry. Intrigue's the purple one. I always think I'm supposed to be looking at the last number because Spymaster is the last position in the council, but it's because the people in the council are in the wrong order. The Archbishop should really be down here. So yeah, she is still, at the very least, 4 points above everyone else in our court. Oh, that really sucks. Everybody's so bad at intrigue. It's just not... This is not how we tend to get down. Best spy master in the whole damn country is honest and just. It's a crying shame, I tell you. Alright, well, I kind of want to do it still, but boy, it's going to be bad. We could just assign her to find secrets at his court, maybe 8 months? Yeah, let's see. She's got a 75% chance of finding secrets if there are any. Maybe there's something there we could use. Uh-oh. Someone is plotting to kill my wife. That's a problem. My wife is real good. I'm a big fan of my wife. And I don't care who knows it. Why would I say something so controversial yet so brave? So, should we maybe pop the old Spy Master back over onto Disrupt? Alright. It takes a long time to do a murder scheme. I'm gonna leave her on this for 8 months. She's gonna complete 1 round of Find Secrets. And then we'll pull her back onto defense. Because I am definitely nervous about that. We're about to have enough money to build a thing that is good. Oh! That's wonderful. It might be wonderful. Sorry. Let's meet the new guy. So he does not endorse me. Obviously a problem. In part because he is arrogant. So we could sway him, maybe. And he has an even lower learning skill than the last guy. What the hell? Where are these bishops coming from? The Pope is so bad at his job. Also, he sent me a sadist. A vengeful sadist. Oh, y'all, I'm so done with Catholicism. I mean, for mechanical reasons, I cannot afford to be done with Catholicism at this moment, but you know what I mean. I'm tired of it. Okay. Yeah. Do it. Phooey. That's what I had to say about that. I was so excited when my bishop died. Yeah, not endorsed by your archbishop. I know, it's a problem. It's a problem. I can still imprison Gundred. At any moment, I could imprison Gundred. Your vassal, Earl Olav, is... whatever. I don't... Ask me if I care about Earl Olav right now. So yes, things seem to be pretty stable in Scotland. It doesn't seem like they're having any big, weird stuff happening. Is Trolley feeling... okay. Control is good. Can we... So what's the difference between Control Absolute and Control 100? No current effects, but if it drops below 100, it would be bad. How do we get to Absolute? Is it just... oh, you know what? In Trolley, I'm the county holder. That's probably why. You can't have absolute control in a place where you're not the direct holder, probably. Oh, look at this. 2%... 4% less tax. How dare you? That said, I do think I want my marshal sitting on increased levies, because right now we're having some problems with the old levies there. If we have him train commanders, he lowers the maintenance cost of our men-at-arms, which is, you know, that's money. Gives us a small chance of fighting a new commander or knight each month. There's a chance to improve our knights and give our commanders additional commander traits, which is probably important for war. What's he doing right now? Levy size, garrison size, and reinforcement rate up. Huh. So the increased military presence, possible side effect. No, we can't get no mouse over on that. I guess let's have him do this for the moment. So organized levies probably isn't relevant until we're gearing up for war, right? But right now he could be increasing the effectiveness of our commanders and knights, which is stuff that will hold over into wartime. That's a real benefit we could get now that will matter later. And there we've hit 300 wealth. So, I mean, it seems like development growth for every holding in the duchy, and also plus 0.8 taxes every month forever. I mean, this is a lot of money, but it seems like this is a really good long-term build, right? Gosh, I hope so. Because we're doing it. Become vast crown forces and even Crownswood courts eventually, and I have no idea... Okay, here we go. Yeah. Popular opinion up with people here. They love a good forest. Okay. Buildings. Who would have thought? Turns out to be important. You gained money. The Earldom of Thomond gained efficient taxation. Alright. My brother is doing his job, and he is doing it well. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to... Oh, right. How long? 6 months. Well, we don't have the money to pledge gold, and it looks like the pledged military strength is pretty good. All right. Now, when we say I will join the army of St. George, of course, I mean my men might join the army of St. George, right? I'm not particularly... yeah, I'm gonna press this button. We're gonna gain some piety. So, I can select a beneficiary to potentially gain a title somewhere in the area, right? Who should that be? I actually have no idea. It should be... So, I mean, these are all people from within our house. That's the way this works. I could reward Donald. But in terms of, like, actual value here, like, who is going to reward us the most, I honestly don't know. It should probably just be somebody who's unlikely to betray me. Right? Because he's going to have holdings that are, like, quite distant. I don't know what the amount of money earned from these holdings is going to be like. Sending Donald out there, honestly, he might not even like this. Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea what the right thing to do is here. I suppose, okay, a consideration. If it's going to be somewhere distant, maybe it should be somebody who has good military skill so that they're more likely to be able to defend the land? Do we have a person who's got, like, a good combination of military skill and stewardship? Not really. It's basically like Donald's the only one with any stewardship at all. If we're going to go military skill, it would probably just be like one of my knights. That's a little inconvenient. Could send cousin Malachi out there. He's got the second best stewardship, right? He's tied with several other people for the second best stewardship in the pool. Yeah. I don't know, man. That seems fine. Choose another target kingdom for this war at the cost of piety. I don't have any piety to... That seems seems like I will not be able to do that. Okay. I would love to receive some of the war chest. We will currently receive $22. Fine. So when the Holy War kicks off, like, my military is going to be partially depleted. Our military is already quite bad. Yeah, this is a problem. We need to fix this. I'm in line to inherit titles. Yeah, I know, man. That was kind of intentional. Okay. Despite our best efforts, my agents have yet to uncover any secrets. I do not believe we will ever find anything either. Okay, very well. Go back to disrupt schemes. Don't let my wife get murdered. That's my feeling, is that my wife should not get murdered. Okay. I'm not going to lie, that's disappointing. We did not gain anything that we could use to drive a wedge between, what's his name, and his wife. I'm very good with names. Finguin. So, I was sort of wondering if, like, with a hook, if we could do something, you know? So we sort of have to make a decision. Are we going to try to have an unfortunate accident befall the princess, or are we going to pin our hopes to their child instead? Which is definitely like, we'd have a person in our court who has a hell of a lot of claims. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the right thing to do is, but I do think that this is probably where we're going to leave it for the moment. Thank you all so much for watching. The scheming is not the part of this that comes most naturally to me. It turns out I'm really good at the part where I have a massively superior military force, and I can fight a lot of very, very easy battles all one in a row. When you come back next time, tomorrow-ish, I'm hoping tomorrow, we probably will finish fabricating our claim on approximately half of Wales, and then we'll start working on that while we keep an eye toward this sort of Scotland long game, and hopefully things will start coming up in our favor, because I feel like we've had a little bit of a rough go of it this episode. And we'll see you then.